YouTube, for those of you that follow along with us, you know that a couple months ago I built this stock tank cowboy pool, is what they're being called, I guess, on the socials. So this is a 10-foot stock tank. We painted the outside. We put a epoxy type bed liner, truck bed liner on the inside. We got a pump. I'll give you a quick little rundown again, just in case you didn't see the first video. But we did a whole video showing the process of how we built this. Super simple, pretty inexpensive, and it's been a real blessing this summer to cool down in. But this video is especially for subscriber Sharice Martinez 9158. I appreciate your comment. Sharice wanted an update on the pool, how it's holding up, how it's all working. So we're gonna go through that, and then I'm gonna have Chief do a review on a battery operated pool vacuum that's inexpensive and works really, really well. So let's get into it. I'm gonna turn you around here. So, like I said here, this is a 10-foot tank. The 10-foot and bigger tanks are actually getting kind of hard to find because they're so hard. Come to find out, they're hard for these farm stores to transport. You know, I mean, if they're laying flat, it's hard to transport these things. The paint on the outside is really holding up well, except where you can see on the edge here these little nicks. Chief was using the little, what do you call that thing, honey? The little strainer thing, the thing you strain like bugs off the top of the water with, and she was, to get the stuff off of the little strainer thing, she was banging it on the side. So, yeah, anyway, that's the only part. If you see some parts on the tank where it looks discolored, it's because one of our Great Pyrenees dogs has to mark every square inch of our farm. So he's marked this tank up, but the outside is super easy to repaint. You could clean it up, like you can see. Might be hard to see, but there's a spot right there where it looks like he just peed on within the last couple hours. But anyways, that's the outside. It's actually held up well, and it'll be super easy to put another coat or two of paint on that if we need to, you know, for next year or whatever. There's that little strainer thing I'm talking about, that right there. You kind of fish the bugs and the grass off the top if there is any. That's what was chipping the edge of that paint there. Cheap Intex pool pump and filter. The pump works good. The filter, it's just got a cartridge filter in that little section. Quite frankly, junk. With the filter in there, I think that filter lasted for about 5 or 6 days, and this water's clean, but that filter worked for about 5 or 6 days, and then hardly any water was blowing back into the pool that you could see anyway. So it's not that it wasn't, it just, you could tell it wasn't filtering like it should. So we actually just took that filter out of there and just run it through. This pump and filter was like $115, I think, on Amazon. So we just went ahead and figured, man, if there's anything big enough to blow through that pump and ruin it, then so be it. Let's see, I'm trying to think of if the model number is on this thing. I don't think it is, but here's a quick look at the motor and the different, I guess the horsepower, quarter horse. So anyway, I'm gonna turn this thing on actually right quick. So it's really, really quiet, which is great. And you can see when it kicked on, you could see that initial flush of water. But after that, I mean, there's barely anything blowing out of there, which isn't awful if your water isn't terribly dirty. You can see at the bottom, well, it's shaded right now here on this one side, but you can see at the bottom right in there, I'm sure it's hard to see on video, but you can see at the bottom there's a little bit of dirt. We're super dry here in Oklahoma, so when it's dry and windy like the conditions have been, you're going to have dirt that blows around. I've also been working on this dry creek bed back over here, so some of that might be a little extra dirt than normal because I've been doing kind of a big project back here, and it's been, you know, kicking up a lot of dust. But we're not too dirty, looking pretty good. So I'm sorry if you couldn't see that very well. It's in the evening, it's about 6 p.m. The sun's going behind a bunch of these shade trees we have here on the south side of this pool, which is a huge blessing. I'm not complaining, but it's making it hard to kind of see this, and there's a lot of shadow going on back here. So I don't know how well you saw that, but I hope you saw it well enough. So we're going to do a little demonstration and review of this battery operated pool vacuum, and I think that this thing was designed for, you know, the Intex kind of soft-sided pools, something pretty small. The battery's not going to last, you know, terribly long, so if you have like an above ground or an in-ground pool that's large, like a full-size pool, I doubt it's going to work that great. But for what we've been doing with this thing, it has worked absolutely fantastic. When I say battery operated, I mean it has a battery similar to like a battery powered drill or Sawzall, something like that. So I'm gonna have Chief, because she's the one that's been handling this, I'm gonna have her get it out, show you how it, you know, all locks together and all that, how it works, and just do a quick little demonstration. But it's been working really well. So let's have her give us a look. All right, so we bought this on Amazon. It's a Lidstow S1 pool cleaner. You just plug it in right here. There's a little cord that plugs in. You charge it. I was a little bit off on the battery. Chief says it lasts about 60 minutes. So that's pretty good. All right, honey, show us how this thing works.
Okay. Well, you just put it in the water, and it'll fill with water, and the water has to stay below this intake here, and then once it's got water in it, you can turn it on.
So it's really quiet. Again, I hope you guys can even see this, but go right down the middle of that dirt spot there. How long does it take you to clean this?
It takes about like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. And you want to go nice and slow so you don't kick up the other crap at the bottom, in case you've never vacuumed a pool before.
Yeah. And it's nice because the bottom is weighted, so it kind of keeps itself
okay,
on
the bottom of the vacuum's weighted?
Yeah.
Nice, okay. I've actually not even used this thing. I just see her from across the yard normally doing this. So that got kind of the junk in the middle, the main stuff.
I'll pick this bug up over here.
Yeah, pick up a bug there. We're gonna need to be able to see. That was mostly just
There's a bug right here.
Some dust and some.
So yeah, it works pretty good.
Okay, so that's that. Now let's show them how to show them what we do to empty it, or what you do to empty it.
So when you take it out, it's going to be a little bit heavy because it's filled with water. But you don't. I found out you don't really want to drain in there because some of the dust will fall back in there. But
okay.
You lift up this little handle, set that down, and then the cap comes off. And I mean that there's actually a lot in there.
Yeah, there is.
And it picks up sand really well. And let me just dump this. And then to clean it, you just pop this out, and then you can rinse it with the hose.
Yeah, let me see that. Here, hold that up. So you can see some of the residue here on the side. So we'll wash that out, put that sucker back in there and reassemble it, plug it back in. We're ready for the next time we use it. Anything else you want to add to this thing? How's it working?
No, it works great. Honestly, it's what I like about it. It doesn't have any hoses. You don't have to hook it up to the pump.
When we had our other pool, you know, we had to hook up that big long hose. You had to stick it down by the jet and fill the hose and all that. If you've never cleaned a pool before, it's a pain in the butt. I hated doing it. I hated it.
I think it works great. I mean, even if I had an in-ground pool, I would probably use something like this just because it's so easy. So
yeah.
But you know, it's only going to last so long though. So
right. I mean, it's probably come from China.
Yeah.
And you know, if it lasts a season, I'd probably be happy with that. So anyway, one last look. We added actually I like a little afternoon shade when I'm in here cooling off, so I had this spare whiskey barrel. I set that there and drilled a hole in the top, and we stuck an umbrella in there, and it's just a nice little bit before the sun gets behind this maple tree. You know, it's still around noon or whatever, that it's still full sun. So this really isn't shaded like this until maybe 5 or 6 in the evening. So this was a really nice addition too, to give me some shade. I don't like to set in the direct sun for like a long time. I get enough of that on my face and arms and stuff as I'm outside working. So I like to have the shade to cool down in and enjoy. So, all right, anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
All right, well, Chief, thanks for being in this video.
You're welcome.
It's taken me almost a year of having this YouTube channel to get her to be in a video for more than 30 seconds and actually talk in the video. So I'm glad that she's finally willing to get in on the video. I appreciate you guys watching this. Hopefully you learned a little something, enjoyed the update on the pool, and in the little review on the vacuum. But until the next video, you guys stay safe, stay cool, and we'll see you on the next one.